Communion of the leaf.
Ooh, come smoke with me. Communion of the leaf, yeah. The leaf.
Welcome to Communion of the Leaf. This weekend, we went up to Simpsonville, Kentucky, where we went to Executive Cigar Lounge. While we were there, we were able to meet the master blender, Hector Alfonso Sr., one of the blenders for Espinosa Cigars. He gave us the chance to do an interview, and so let's get into it.
My name's Hector Alfonso. I'm the master blender for Espinosa Cigars.
So thank you for taking some time with us today. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask for our viewers.
Okay.
So if you hadn't got into the cigar industry, what do you see yourself doing?
I would have stayed in law enforcement. I worked for Miami-Dade Police for 32 years. I worked with Eric the last 9 years of my career part-time. COVID came, and I planned to retire that year that COVID came. But COVID came, and we were making a good living that year with COVID. So I stayed an extra year. But I was really looking forward to coming to work with Eric and doing this full time. I was tired. I was almost 55 years old. I've been doing it for 32 years. I was looking for something different. But had this opportunity never come along, I'd still be probably sitting in the office now, contemplating 62 and in retirement and moving away.
All right. So when you do all these blends, how do you know when a blend is finished, when it's ready to be put out to market?
There's two stages to that. There's the first few years of Espinosa when our portfolio wasn't really very big. So we were looking to fill the most holes in, the most flavor profiles in demand at the time. That was, just coming out every year with one or two things to get the portfolio filled. At this stage, we're looking for particular blends to fill particular holes in our portfolio. Now, and answering your question completely, and when do I know when a blend is done? It's not just, it's not Alfonso Cigar Company, it's Espinosa Cigar Company. We, cigars made, back in the old days, we'd make up to 10 blends to try to get one right. Because I want to tell you that I have a really great romantic story where I was, since I'm Cuban American, I grew up with my grandfather on his lap in his farm growing tobacco. I had none of that. Neither of my parents smoked. I didn't have any tobacco lineage. So I learned by trial and error. So at this point now, it's, we're trying to fill this hole. I'll make a couple of blends and, explaining, as we talk about what we're trying to fill, hopefully the blend does that. It might not be a cigar Eric likes, it might not be a cigar I like, but it's a cigar that has to fill that particular need.
Okay. So if someone could only smoke one cigar in your portfolio, which one would it be and why?
Oh, but see, that's a tough call because while we don't make any mild cigars, we don't make anything mild on the really white label Davidoff or, Rocky Patel, Kinetic. We don't make anything very mild. Everything is kind of medium plus all the way to full. I'd really have to gauge it. Now, if you ask me what's my favorite cigar in the portfolio, while I want to tell you, hey, you should smoke this, I got to know where you're at. So what I would do if somebody said, hey, what cigar would I recommend to anybody just to set the baseline? I'd tell you to try the Knuckle Sandwich Connecticut or the Crema Connecticut. If you don't like Connecticut, because a lot of people don't like Connecticut, even though it's the number one selling cigar wrapper in the world, I would tell you, well, you know what? Try the Habano. Either the Habano 601 Red or the Habano Espinosa, because that's middle of the road for us. Middle of the road spice, middle of the road body. And then come back to me and tell me where we're at. And if you say, well, I didn't like it for this reason or that, or I loved it, fine. I will put you on a trajectory to something stronger in the future. And if you thought it was too strong, I'll put you on a downward trajectory or a lateral trajectory to try something kind of in that wheelhouse, but with a different wrapper that'll give it a different flavor profile.
Okay. So this is going to be a little bit of a unique question.
Okay.
So if you could blend with any celebrity or historical figure, who would it be and why?
Well, listen, I already get a chance to work with the guy who brought me in the industry, and I'm very thankful. So that's kind of taken care of. But not everybody's a cigar smoker, so I'd have to look at guys who are cigar smokers, who are celebrities. Man, there are guys in this industry that I respect so much, and doing something collaborative together. You're talking about two worlds. Skip is a great friend of mine. Pete Johnson's a good friend of mine. James from Blackhorse is a good friend of mine. And Saka's a good friend of mine. I love those guys, but it would be hard to find the middle ground between what we make and what they make. But the guy, if I could sit and spend a week with that guy, would be Ernie Carrillo. For me, he is a guy that, is anointed the godfather of boutique cigars 20 years ago. So, you know, how would you not want to get a chance to sit and make a cigar with him and learn, try to pick up the stuff that he's forgotten about tobacco that I still don't know, you know?
That's understandable. What's your favorite place in the world to smoke a cigar, for the first question? And the second question is, what's the most unusual place you've ever smoked a cigar?
Is this a family show?
It's no.
I got to make sure my children are watching for that one. All right, so the best place to smoke. Listen, I am a member of not a member, but I'm a regular at a cigar shop in Miami at Caribbean Cigars. You know, just like executive here, they're in Espinosa Lounge. I've always liked being part of a team. That's my team. I was in the Army, a team, and the police department was a team. Espinosa's a team. My cigar shop's a team. I love smoking my cigars there. But there's no better moment to smoke a cigar than with my son. My son's 40 years old. He's a cigar smoker. He's in law enforcement. And, you know, those moments, you know, you don't want to look back in 20 years and say, you know, I should have had a cigar with the old man, or I should have had a cigar with my son. So any chance we get a chance to smoke either together or amongst the regulars there, where he's a regular, is the greatest time.
Yeah, communion
Of the leaf.
Yeah, midnight oil with that blue-gray haze. Gold band shining, lost in the mahogany maze. Cut deep, check the draw. Reviews, culture, history. Communion of the leaf, come smoke with me. Yeah, communion of the leaf.
Ooh.